What is up? What is up, everybody? This is Martin Mike. This is another The Wrestling Babble podcast by Red Cycling Inc. I am Martin Mike. I'm joined by my tag partner, Louis Beans.
What is up? What is up?
And we got a shit ton of wrestling to cover. We had WrestleMania weekend. There were some other things on the side, but again, if we want to talk about it, we talk about it, but we don't. But this show will be focused on the WrestleMania and our review of WrestleMania 42. But first, we do have bad wrestling. And what we had to watch was the complete thing was WCW April 26, 2000. I'm guessing it was so bad that WWE don't even have it in their Thunder collection, or David Arquette asked them not to have it, or cease and desist not to have his face on there. It's one of the two. But then again, they had the clips, so who knows? So what you got to watch of this episode?
Just a tag match that changed the world, which was, what was it? David Arquette and DDP? No, was it DDP?
Yeah, it was DDP.
Yeah. And Jeff Jarrett was in the opposite team. That's what it was. Yeah, it was not good. But I see. Here's the thing. It's hard to go back to that time period because I know I saw it when it happened, and I don't remember having any type of reaction. Just thinking like, "Oh, I know that guy."
Yeah.
Because it was just, I didn't understand why that could be a bad thing, and then not knowing how bad WCW was doing at the point, right? That was 2000, right? That's not good.
Yeah.
They were a sinking ship. So just thinking, man, they were flailing. That's the only thing I could think of. Like now, it was that reeks of desperation and like trying their hardest to put a face on the map.
Yeah.
Just do something so shocking that people are just like, oh my god, and it happened, but it was in the completely opposite.
I think it did more damage to Ready to Rumble
No,
than
it did. Well, then I could, it probably made more people watch that because that's all this. If you, again, it's hard to go back to that time because if you look up statistics and whatever, it's going to tell you numbers, and you'd be like, oh well, it probably didn't do good. But I remember people being hyped for the movie still.
I saw it in theaters.
So I'm like, I think maybe it's the opposite. Because if you think about it, honestly, Arquette's career didn't really suffer. He just went on and kept doing Scream and like every. It almost seemed like he was the guy that did projects he wanted to do, and that was it.
And then he lined up going into wrestling because he was mad about this WCW title, felt like he didn't deserve it, and he actually went in to make a wrestling career for himself.
Yeah, but that's here nor there. That's
Yeah.
way down. That's him feeling bad. It is what it is.
And then he almost died.
It wasn't his fault.
And then he almost died in the death match.
I see.
Yeah.
But as it pertains to 2000, it's just like no, that wasn't his fault. No, he wasn't trying to be a greedy celebrity and do it. I do feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, it wasn't his. It wasn't his thing.
I feel like he got used by what's his name? Who's the guy that we all say is the Looney Tunes guy?
Oh, Vince Russo, and I think Bischoff was part of the team as well at the time.
At 2000?
Yeah, sure? It was him and Bischoff. Bischoff was in the match.
No, but I'm sure. You sure he was still on the creative and not just?
Yeah, he was on the creative. Yeah, he was on the creative as well.
Okay, all right.
Bischoff gets some of the blame.
It's just so much when you go back to that time. It's like Eric Bischoff couldn't have been involved, could he? Well, I guess so.
And then if you look at the time frame when the movie came out too, it kind of sets in within the time frame that the movie came out.
Yeah.
The movie came out April 7th, 2000, and this happened April 26th, 2000. So it was in the same month that the movie came out.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
It did okay in theaters. It passed its
Again,
budget.
again, it was a fun movie. It's just this was not a fun match to watch, and
Fun.
I feel bad for our kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they did it more to hype the movie up and try to get more people in theaters to see it. So I think it was just definitely a way to just try to get people to go see it more. The movie did okay. It wasn't like it was kind of a failure because it didn't hit the budget it needed, but for a movie that just came out of randomly, I know I went to see it in theaters. I enjoyed it. I will watch it to this day if it is randomly on TV and stuff. It was a fun movie, and it had wrestling in it, so that was rare. Um, but again, I guess this was definitely a publicity stunt because it was more giving him the title when the movie was out in theaters. I don't blame him at all because I don't see him being that having that ego either. Like if you ever hear interviews and stuff like that, even to this now, like he hated the fact that they gave him the title. So it goes to a point that just they were trying to get money off of it, and again, WCW was a sinking ship, so they try to find any loophole that they can to keep it afloat. And we got this episode of WCW Thunder. Um, I'll run down the card. I got to see most of it. I didn't get to see all of it. I wanted to watch the whole episode because I know they had promos in the beginning. I know they had promos in between matches. So that's how I kind of wanted to watch the whole episode because there was a lot of promos that I didn't get to watch. Like Ernest the Cat Miller versus Bam Bam Bigelow. He had a whole thing that he talked shit to him about. And then the match happened. He beat Bam Bam Bigelow. We had Chris Canyon versus the Perfect Ones, Sean Stasiak, which he took the Kurt Hennig um, name of the Perfect One kind of thing, and they were rivaling at the time. Pretty much, it was like a millionaires club versus the New Blood, and anyone that was under 30 or like 25, under 25, or no, under 35 was not part of that millionaires club, so they were facing the older guys, but the older guys were the ones that were the baby faces and they were the heels. Like Hogan had a big rivalry with Kidman, which sorry, but Kidman is not a talker at all, and he should not be talking. Um, so you had him and Horace Hogan, and he was fighting Horace Hogan because of Hulk Hogan. When you see Horace, he's a plain ass bald Hogan that probably works in a gay club. Cause, and then there's nothing really wrong with that. It's just that his getup looks like a village person kind of getup, and it's surprising. Anyway, I watched that match. The match was okay though, but Kidman can't talk for shit. You had Sting versus the Wall, and
How new was he? Wasn't this his first promotion, or was he?
Horace Hogan was
No,
there.
not Horace. Talking about Kidman. Wasn't he new?
Well, he's not
As in,
new
like,
now. 2000, he was not new. He's been in WCW since '97,
okay, okay.
so he had time. They just never gave him much of mic.
Oh yeah, he never.
And then
Yeah.
when he was in the Filthy Animals, it was Ray and Conan that did most of the talking. He didn't really have to say anything. And then
Mm,
even Ray did most of the talking. And Ray
mm.
wasn't a great promo, but he got away. He was able to handle himself.
I know he had catch. They had catchphrases in the Filthy Animal. That's all I remember.
He just pretty much humping everything.
But also, I was really not watching.
Yeah, Filthy
Watching
Animals were
WCW.
fun. I would say like if you ever do a faction like look back and stuff like that, Filthy Animals was a fun faction. They were funny and kind of the style of what they did and stuff like that was funny. But again, like if you actually listen to a lot of the promos and stuff and hear what they said, it's like what, why? And that's a lot of stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the tables match with Sting versus the Wall, and it kind of got interrupted with Vampiro, but it was much of a fight. It lasted like maybe less than 5 minutes, and Sting won that one. The New Blood, the franchise, and Buff Bagwell. And the funny thing is, the franchise was part of the New Blood, and he was probably as old as as most of the wrestlers that were in the Millionaires Club. Um, yeah, Paisley and Tammy, which was pretty much an ECW cat fight. Didn't really go nowhere, but Tammy lined up getting the win. No, Paisley got the win, and Carandino and Tammy attacked them at the end. They had a big rivalry with this. I think he was the cruiserweight champ, and that's what the belt that was going for. He had an interview with Booker T. He lined up losing to Mike Awesome because of Big Papa Pump. And then the main event was the tag match with Diamond Dallas Page and David Arquette versus Jeff Jarrett, Eric Bischoff. Arquette wasn't there in the beginning. He lined up coming in the end and lined up getting the pin and won the WCW championship after the pin. Um, yeah, that's it was that. Uh, it wasn't great. It wasn't. I would say it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. There were things in it of what I watched was bad. Like I guess I watched the bad matches of this card because I watched the Chris Canyons, Don Stasiak. Sean Stasiak wasn't that great. He looked great, but he wasn't that good of a wrestler. And he's a second generation too. Shame.
Talking about meat? Talking about meat?
Yeah.
That's all I know him as.
Yeah, he was. He's a second generation wrestler. But would I say it belongs in this list? Yeah, it does. It does. Is it top 4? This might be worse than what we watched, but I'll hold it here and leave it there. I won't blame Dave Arquette. Yeah.
I would say it is a piece of wrestling history for the bad.
Yeah.
And it probably deserves to be down there. But I would say if anybody wanted to put it at the bottom, I wouldn't be mad at you.
There you go. There you go. You know what? I'll say the what I've watched of this show was better than Heroes of Wrestling.
I don't. All right.
Yeah.
Because again, when we watched it, the one thing I could say about that was production was ass, commentary was eh. I liked hearing Lou Albano, but some of those matches they weren't that bad.
Yeah, they weren't that bad.
It seemed like people just didn't want to see the older guys wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the drunk Jake the Snake. I honestly, I think this one just gets a lot of the bad rap because of the production and the drunk Jake the Snake.
Like those other matches weren't lighting anything on fire, but like I would honestly probably put that above what you told me the show was, and then add it with what I saw and say that I think the David Arquette episode in total in WCW in 2000 was probably terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't great. It wasn't great. They also didn't have like any good storylines following this, or like connecting to it, or keeping you wanting to be invested in it.
You don't say.
Yeah. Because you had the New Blood storyline that kind of they try to make it a new NWO kind of situation because all the New Bloods were going to take over and shit. But half the New Blood people weren't good. They were bad. Yeah. Half the ones they choose, they were bad. There was very few that were like standout stars. Like Sean O'Hare was fucking good, but at the time Mark Jindrak wasn't that great. You had Mike Awesome, which was good, but then you made him the chick thriller, the 16 guy.
No, the fat chick thriller.
The fat chick thriller. You made him that, and it just ruined him. Chris Candido, you did nothing with him. Besides, he gave you good matches, but you did really nothing with him and Tammy Cinch. And that could have been something bigger. You could have gave him the U.S. title and had him have a good run with it and things like that. Because Chris Candido was a really good wrestler.
Wasn't Lance Storm there also at that time?
I think he left.
Well, because I remember wasn't there a Canadian faction?
That was like late '99, early 2000, and I think he left.
Yeah. So if he's gone, well, you ain't got nobody.
So, because you had the Team Canada that Major Guns lined up joining them as well. And then you had Hacksaw Betray America join Team Canada. And shaved his beard. He looked weird. He looked
And he
Joseph
was a
Park.
janitor.
Yeah. But anyway, that was a bad show. Was it the worst we watched? I don't. I think. I'll. Yeah, I'll say it is worse than Heroes in Wrestling because there's really good talent that just have shit matches. Billy Kim and Horace Hogan was doo doo. Sting in the Wall was just Sting whooping his ass and then going against Vampiro. Um, Booker T and Mike Awesome I think was the match highlight of that night, but that's not saying much either. I think they could have great matches. It's just like it wasn't that long of a match, and it kind of went by pretty fast because of a lot of shenanigans. I think the thing, like the common thread with WCW, especially when they try to book a NWO thing, is shenanigans. They make shenanigans in every fucking match. So
And I do believe that the episode of NXT, in my opinion, is the worst thing on this list that we've seen so far.
I agree with
I,
that because
I
it's
think
very
that was
gimmicky.
terrible.
Yeah, it was gimmicky. Our next show, this will be February 27th, 2020. This is the pay per view I blame for the pandemic. I blamed Goldberg beating The Fiend for COVID. This is Super Showdown 2020 in Saudi Arabia. So we'll be watching that for our next Bad Wrestling. And I didn't know that Undertaker had a gauntlet match in the show.
Was it just everybody versus him?
All right. So I'll run it. They have the card here. So where it goes. All right. Yeah. R-Truth eliminating Bobby Lashley. R-Truth eliminate Andrade. Eric Rowan gets a disqualification and gets himself thrown out. AJ Styles eliminates R-Truth, and then Undertaker eliminates AJ Styles.
And that was a match for what? Championship?
Just Gauntlet. Twaka Trophy Gauntlet match. It was for a trophy.
Did it look cool? I don't remember
I
that.
don't remember this at all, so I'm drawing blanks on this. Then you had the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship. You had John Morrison and the Miz. They defeat the New Day. This was a child change. I think this was probably one of the highlights of the show because even they rated it like a 3.5. Angel Garza versus Humberto Carrillo. You had Murphy Rollins versus Street Profits for the Raw Tag titles. Mansoor versus Dolph Ziggler. Lesnar versus Ricochet. Roman versus King Corbin. Bayley versus Naomi. And then you had Goldberg versus The Fiend. So, that RBR Bad Wrestling. WrestleMania. Before we get into the big WrestleMania, did you get to see any of the side things that happened during that week?
Nope. I only seen highlights of Shotzi.
Shotzi's taking over. She had a lot of
I
good shit.
saw highlights of Steph DeLander because she came back to the Indies after her injuries and stuff.
And complain about no water. What the fuck we guys don't have water?
Well, Matt Cardona's gone, so now she got to take over.
Yep.
I saw highlights of I think it's Gabby Forza.
Okay.
Like just little people that they don't usually have a gigantic spotlight on them. I mean, except for Shotzi,
Yeah.
She was literally everywhere. That's the thing.
That's good. I think she had like 12 matches within that time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You
If there was a show, she was there.
probably that is true.
She was there. She was making out with people. She was fighting people. She was hitting people with chairs. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Effie's Big Gay Wrestling, and they had like a makeout session and then a finishing move done. It was like, okay, there you go. I did watch the Stardom show. I did watch the Babes of Wrath and Chris Statlander versus Starlight Kid, Asium, and Who's the other person with them? Can't think of their name. But anyway, that was a fun match and a lot of. I actually really enjoyed it. I did enjoy the Athena match too. That was actually a really good one too. I didn't watch the whole card, but I watched those. Um, there's a lot of stuff going on that weekend. So, but seeing the crazy shit of how much this stadium was charging for food and water and shit, it's ridiculous, man. It's a
What was
sad.
it last year?
It was a lot less. They were
Okay.
charging $25 for water.
That sounds like casino prices.
Yeah, $25 for water. Last year I think it was $10. So that's
I
crazy.
mean, I didn't go, so
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah,
tell
yeah.
you.
I won't be going to that either.
I couldn't tell
Anyway,
you.
um, that I watched. I looked at the people's posts and shit, and then they showed the menu prices and whatnot. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
Hmm.
WrestleMania. We're going to night one, which was Saturday. We kick off with the Usos and LA Knight versus Division and ISO Speed.
I give it no more than three. It wasn't a bad match. Didn't. I wasn't that like I was impressed by Speed's athleticism, right?
Yeah,
But then again, I think I don't know him at all. Like I don't watch his streams or anything, but everything I've seen of him already, I know that he's an athletic and agile person. So none of that stuff that he did, like doing a flip and things like
yeah,
that. And if he spent legitimate time learning with Logan Paul, who already picked up wrestling super fast, I'd expect him to understand the basics pretty fast. And
yeah.
that's what
He
you
trained with
saw.
Randall too.
But I'm saying that's what you saw is, yeah, somebody who picked up on the basics and can do what they needed him to do in the match. And I think that his athleticism carried him far, literally, because when he jumped, he went hella far.
Yeah, he almost
And he
missed.
nailed that. I didn't see that. He nailed that.
Yeah,
So that's not how I feel about it. It was just nothing really went like, because you have to understand WrestleMania is a big event, right?
mhm,
But then we have to watch the show after, and none of that stuff mattered to
yeah.
me.
I
I
also
think the match
say,
shouldn't have happened,
I
so
also
I gave it
think
a three.
that like the fact that you had Dan Housing's involvement, he should have been at least involved in this match.
It wouldn't have saved it for me, so
If you would have cursed him and that's how they lost, yes, that would have saved it a little bit for me. But I'm at it too with this match. I really didn't care. I happy that LA Knight got into the WrestleMania card with the Usos. This is the third song they trying right now with the Usos. um, I it could have been on Raw and I would have cared. So I'm at it too.
I'll just point this out there. I'm not trying to make anybody mad or even us upset, but somebody else could have been in that match that worked there. You just saying.
Yeah, there's a
I'm
whole
not. I'm not.
roster.
I'm not even saying that to be like a dick about it, but just from the standpoint of there's one of those a year,
Mhm.
and this match it didn't really need to happen.
No. Next match is an unsanctioned match of Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre.
Solid match. But the funny thing was, this was the least bloody match involving a high level of physicality. So that takes something away from it for me. But it was still solid. I'm glad Jacob won. I'm going to give it a four.
So
I think it might have been for me probably the best match on the card. I mean, not best, but like one of my favorite matches on this card.
okay, I will say it was probably the most unsanctioned match. Just because like the fact that you're stating to me that the reason why it's unsanctioned is because the refs and WWE does not want to do nothing. They have no responsibility to do anything with this match. I don't think they did enough to make me believe that, oh shit, WWE would not allow this.
Hmm.
And that kind of annoyed me because I've seen unsanctioned matches done in WWE. I've seen them done in NXT where like Tommaso Ciampa was taking off the mat and hitting the concrete kind of thing. or ripping the mat off and hitting the wood that's underneath. Like those little aesthetics could have been used in this match. The athleticism and like their what they did to each other was good, and I can't take away from that. But as an unsanctioned match, you could have just made this a street fight, and I would have believed that. But you made it
But you can't
unsanctioned,
have two
yeah.
on one. You can't
But
have two on
you,
one weekend.
yeah, but you made it seem that it's gonna go to an extreme that WWE and the referees did not want nothing to do with it. And yeah, I don't think you did anything that made me believe that. So that takes points away, and I'm at a 3-5 with this.
I think the falling off the balcony was more extreme in this match. I'll put it that way.
Yes.
Although it was good, but I will say the one thing in this match that did stand out for me is the weird continuity of Drew being petrified of a toolbox.
Yeah, that's telling a story from the last
Yeah, no,
time he got
they
hit.
literally said it. But I'm just saying, him in character being afraid of the toolbox, that made me laugh.
The next three matches is gonna be kind of a same pattern of what I'm gonna have to say about it. No, the next two matches, sorry. So the next match is Paige and Brie Bella, which was Paige was the surprise because Nikki Bella wasn't cleared to wrestle. Versus Nia Jax and Lash Legend versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyrie versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Shoutouts to their costumes, shoutouts to their entrances. I thought their entrances were pretty solid. I liked the demolition for Lash Legend and Nia Jax. I loved Alexa Bliss's freaking costume, it was really dope. And then Charlotte being the colorful butterfly that she's been doing the little girl's gear colors and stuff. I loved it. I actually loved the outfits and things like that. So shout outs to that. It's a match that you had a lot of people in it, and it was extremely short.
Is that your what's your score then?
Um, I wanted like again. I felt like they didn't have enough time to like at least establish or even showcase the four tag teams that you were in. They moved so fast that they didn't really get a chance. They had that big Page moment between her and Charlotte. They tried to get those standoffs here and there, but I felt like it was so rushed. And this is my pattern with this. And again, I watched it live. You watched it afterwards. So live, I felt like matches got rushed for commercial breaks, and that's what annoyed me with the show. But if I watched it replay, I probably wouldn't notice the commercials, but I noticed the match being fast. You had four teams that didn't get to really highlight anything or really showcase that much, and you could have gave them at least 12 to 15 minutes, especially with as many people you had, and I think you would have just had a better match. I did like what I saw, but again, I wish it could have been more. So I'm at a 3.75 with this one.
Uh, I don't have the time issue because I didn't watch it live, so I didn't experience what people call ad hell, which is unfortunate. Like how you make so much money and you gotta
Yeah,
you still tell us so many ads because the story behind this stuff is ridiculous anyway.
yeah.
So I didn't have that experience. So I would say the surprise for Paige hit because I don't look for the stuff. So if there was spoilers or rumors, I don't know, don't care.
The only thing I
Um,
knew is she was in Vegas, and I know she
but
has
I
her.
figured she was gonna
Yeah,
be there because she's
yeah,
always in cons and stuff. So
exactly. And then she was also doing her Rule Breaker podcast, so I knew she was in Vegas. I didn't know she was going to sign to WWE. I was very happy to see her.
so that was a very welcome surprise. I think the match itself was actually solid. I like the homages and the entrances and stuff like that. But uh, match wise, I think they, regardless of how it wrapped up, because I don't know how I feel when it's always convenient when the new person just shows up and wins the championship.
Yeah,
And I only say that because in this instance, the two champs were huge people, but they were the powerhouses, but they were incapacitated by other means, and they were not the ones that got pinned. So that's how it happens, and that stops me from taking points away from just throwing the belt at the new person, even though it's an old person.
yeah.
But anyway, I thought it was good. I would say like the highlight of the match was actually Paige because
Took solid as fuck.
she hit, she hit the hits. and everything looked great. And then of course they had to stand off with Charlotte, which I think they needed something like that.
Yeah,
And then they gave you a little bit of miscommunication with Lyra and
Bailey.
Bailey. Like they put, I'd say, for yes, it wasn't the longest match.
Yeah.
I liked it because when I watched it, I didn't think about that. That
Oh,
wasn't that wasn't my thought process. My thought process was, hey, they managed to get a lot of stuff that pertains to the storylines of each of the teams in some meaningful or not meaningful way, but like they did the thing at WrestleMania in a big ensemble match where everybody got to shine, but I think Paige like outshone everybody, and that's what you want for a surprise. So I'll give it the same score, 3.75. Because I just didn't think it was like, oh my god.
no, I didn't think it was like.
Okay.
Again, I would not take anyway. Like, I don't think the match was bad at all. I just wish I had more time. I think it had. I think it had enough people that you could have gave it at least maybe 3, 4 more minutes, and probably still had the same match.
But I would say in this scenario for me, it did not overstay its welcome because WrestleMania does have a tendency to get boring,
Yeah,
and it's not anybody's fault. It's just because that should be long.
yeah, it should be. It does be long. Next match is the IC Championship match. We have Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee.
I think this was the best women's match on night one. Sorry, Liv, but I thought this was the best match. I really liked this. Again, this match it didn't overstay its welcome for me. I think they got in. They got everybody got up and down. Like you had AJ coming back and really putting the boots and having Becky on the ropes, and it really looked like okay, she was going to defend. Because again, what ends up happening is that she loses and now she's gone. so, so me not thinking about the possibility that she's not going to be around if she's losing, I didn't have that feeling of Becky's gonna. Oh, it's a shoe in that Becky's gonna win. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So at least from that standpoint, I did. I thought it could go either way, and I was pleasantly surprised when Becky won. I think she did it in a great way, and I again, and you know, got to give it to CM Punk later on in the next day, but they might be the two of the slickest cheaters in the game right now. Like, because there's a lot of people who are dirty players, you know, MJF, you know, uh, a lot of people now, like when they turn from bad to good, Seth, when he was bad, there's people that do, I mean, she was even more slick than Roman, is what I'm saying. Like, the high tier cheaters and the people that abuse the rules, like, Becky's just really good at being a bad guy.
yeah.
And that's what I like about her in this match. Like, she does it. So I give it a 4.
I'm gonna go 4. I think this was one of my favorite women's matches. The 100% it was favorite women's match of this day. Again, I think I could have got a little bit more. I could have added at least 4 or 5 minutes, and I think it would have taken away from the match. I think their chemistry really showed this one. I think this was better than their first match they had, and I feel like they worked really well together in this one. I'm happy. It could have went again. I agree with you. It could have went either way because I thought we were gonna have AJ and have some other bouts with her, but I guess not. And we have Becky Lynch, the new IC champ, P-time IC champ. So yeah, I stick with the 4. Next match is Gunther versus Seth Rollins.
I think this match was amazing. I'm going to give it a 4.5 right off the bat.
I'll say
The
match of the night.
only thing I was upset about was that Braun came in. Like, that was, I expected division interference at some point, some way, shape, or form, whether it be Paul Heyman or something. But I think the match was great. And this is the thing about Seth Rollins that people forget that he'll take it to people who normally whoop everybody's ass.
Yeah,
And he was going toe to toe with Gunther.
Gunther.
Don't forget he beat Brock Lesnar. He's
Yeah,
one of those people. So I thought it was excellent. They did what they had to do. Like all the moves were great. The counters and just the frustration sometimes that you saw that Gunter is good at doing.
Yeah.
Somebody's like outmaneuvering him and stuff, and he's like, "All right, you know what? That sleeper works. You keep moving around. I'm getting you right back in the sleeper." And I think that's what he does better than almost everybody. Is that Gunter does the basic moves better than anybody else.
Yeah. He wears you
Timing
down.
wise, like timing wise, also it's just like, "Oh, you want to keep flying? No, no, no. I got you. I got you. Get back on the ground. Cut that shit out. Oh, you want to punch me? No, I'm chopping the shit out. You know what I mean? Like it's he the appropriate move for the appropriate scenario. And then you also know when he goes to the top rope, it's a big deal because he doesn't normally do it. But when he does it, it has the potential to end the match.
He's the flying Kermit.
Yo, he's a Hindenburg. That's what he. Oh, the humanity. That's what he is. When he flies, it's like, oh shit. So that again, I would say 4 or 5.
I'm at 4-5 with this. I think this was my match of the night. I think they really delivered in the match. Again, like Braun, you kind of predicted that Braun was gonna come in. If not, Division was gonna come in. Sadly, that was the case. Like I kind of just wanted this to end if Gunther or Seth Rollins winning. Like I legit didn't need the shenanigans afterwards, but it makes for the storyline, I guess. But other than that, yeah, 4-5. Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Valkyrie for the world women's world championship. We had the whole music video of Liv Morgan coming out, and she's actually using her song as her theme now.
Good for her.
She stated that she hated her theme music. Same thing with Dominic Mysterio. He hates his theme music.
They say that, but I don't think they did.
I get it if you're out and you
I
hear
like the
that shit
character.
over and over again all
I
the
don't think
time.
it real. Maybe, but Dom can't really say that. His theme is new.
His is not that new.
In comparison to hers
Yeah,
is old.
hers is yeah. She had hers since 2022.
I don't know. I think she had it since she came up, and then it evolved. Remember they changed it into
No,
something.
she had something else
She had the
before
Rise.
that.
No, she had the Rise Squad one,
Yeah, she
and
had
then she
something
had
else
this.
before that one too.
But at least she had two revisions to this one
She
song.
never
So
had a Judgment Day version.
yeah, that's true. She never had a Judgment Day song.
Yeah, everyone had their theme changed into a Judgment Day theme, and
Mm-hmm.
Dominic had his. His is supposed to be like an evil version of Rey Mysterio's,
Mm-hmm.
so it makes sense. Um, so again, this is a match that kind of just went. It was pretty quick match, but I thought it was solid for
Mm-hmm.
what they did. I thought they delivered to what they had. You knew that Roxy. I think Roxy was the highlight. You know, she's the one that got most pictures. But Roxy and Raquel was gonna get involved, and you kind of saw that. You kind of see it coming, but beyond that, like I thought it was solid. And Liv Morgan's the new women's champion.
I mean,
Um,
it was good. Oh, did you give it a score?
I'll go 3.75.
This one, I mean, I think it was more predictable because you knew it didn't make any sense for the Judgment Day not to not be involved in some way. But the one thing I would say here, uh, this there has to be a time they got to do it, right?
Yeah,
And what I'm talking about is if you ever want to break Raquel away and get her to that level where she's just as high tier as Rhea, because they keep trying to do the face off, and it's just like you're not there yet in terms of your power level because you never had a championship
yeah,
and you never stopped and just said, "Screw everybody else, I'm gonna look out for me." This was a moment where they could have did that, where with her and Liv. Even if she didn't like screw her, she could have held her and been like, I could drop you right now for what you did to me. Because remember, this is supposed to be her match.
yeah.
So I think that one part of the important story, I think they didn't keep because I think they just went and said, "We don't want any beef with these four members of the Judgment Day." I get that, but hey, it's a piece of the story that was told. And I thought that would have made the match better to just have that little bit of "don't play me because I'll fuck you up"
Yeah.
type of deal with Liv and Raquel. Um, but other than that, I would say it was very good. Uh, but yeah, I guess maybe this one, uh, as much as like you say the tag match was short, like this one I kind of did feel they should have had more time.
Yeah.
I just stood here and explained the whole last thing. So yeah. So I'll probably say 3.75 with an asterisk. Like I would give it a 4,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll rock with you on this one.
All right. Cool. Next one is the Undisputed World Championship match. You have Cody Rhodes versus Randall Keith Orton.
I'll go first. I give those this a 2.5 because they tried to have a match in between the nonsense. Excuse me, and it was solid, but man, it was like you felt that. That wasn't good. I felt bad for Cody and Randy having to do that. Like as much as it's their job to have a media match with celebrities and blah blah blah, Jelly Roll, blah blah blah, Pat, who's not really a celebrity, he's a worker, but whatever. They even though they want to pretend he's not. Um, it's just the match did not outshine the BS that was still in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can't give it a high score because I didn't want that in the first place. I didn't want Jelly Roll standing there. I don't care if he splashes splash Pat.
He could
I
do a
don't
whole senton bomb, and I wouldn't care.
he could have did a senton 450, and I still would have been like, I don't. Why are you here? You know what
I
I
would
mean?
have been like, all right, but I would also be like, nah, I don't need you. You know?
And then again, this match had more blood than the damn unsanctioned match. You know what I mean? Like these guys were going for it. They would. I feel bad. And then Randy didn't win. So what was all this nonsense for? Eh, it just rubs me the wrong way. Lucky I don't give it a lower score
I like
because
Cody's entrance.
I know the two. But again I know the two guys not there and busted their asses. Look at Cody's eye. You know what I'm saying? So eh, it just makes me feel bad. But I was not. All that negativity is from taking away points is from that celebrity stuff. So that's where I stand. 2.5.
I did like the video package. I did like the entrances. I thought Cody's entrance was pretty dope with the past versions of him, and it was kind of like a whole Iron Man, Tony Stark kind of thing. Um, for what they did in the ring, it was pretty solid. I wish it was just that was the focus. And honestly, I think they could have had a better match if that was the focus. The ending, like, I'm fine with Cody winning, but the way the Randall like whacked him with the belt and then punt him, that's the way that Randall will fucking lose. If he loses, he's gonna take you out anyway. But that, so if you actually look at that belt shot is the what made that eye swell up, and the punt was just like a insult to injury to afterwards. But again, within the ring stuff I enjoyed, but the outside shit just threw me off, and I just don't care. I don't care about Pat McAfee. I liked him as a commentator, and I give him credit for as a commentator, but anything else, I don't really care. Like, if you're having some minor matches and stuff like that, that's fine. But if you're in the world title picture for WrestleMania, it's gonna annoy the shit out of me. And the way they brought him in and stuff like that just left a bad taste in my mouth before this match even happened. So I'm not gonna give excuses for it, but for what they did in the ring, I'm gonna go a 3, like a 3.25. But for everything, all the shenanigans and stuff like that, it stays at a 3. Just because I didn't need Jelly Roll, I did not need Pat McAfee. I did not care if he got splashed through a table. You could have had him get splashed through the spikes from Mortal Kombat, and I would not have cared. So it's sadly in that sense that I just like the outside shit really took away from what this match could have been, and how easily a storyline that you had 20 years within the two characters that can just write the story itself, and you just choose to fuck it up, and that's just really boggles my mind. A lot of things came out after WrestleMania about the whole situation, and that TKO had a lot of influence in episode in the first one, and you could actually really see it now more than anything. But beyond that, it was not a WrestleMania main event, and I'm glad that we got Night Two's main event because that was a WrestleMania main event. So, yeah, I'm at a three. Um, we're gonna go to Night Two. I didn't watch any of the backstage stuff or anything either because it was just too much wrestling at one point, and I was like, all right, I can't watch this. Uh, so Night Two. Where's my list? Give me the list. Match one is Oafemi versus Brock Lesnar for Night Two.
Uh, five,
Five.
five. That's it. Give me 5 BBs. Five, five meat symbols. That's it. They did the job they were supposed to do. There's nothing else I can really say.
And Lesnar
Two
retiring
titans,
afterwards.
two titans, two titans went in the ring, did what they had to do, and then you had the emotional component of Brock leaving the boots and the gauntlets in the ring.
Yeah, and him marking the X because he was doing something off script.
Okay. I
So
thought he
I
was just like,
legit think that this was it. So this something that I learned. Like I was watching, and then he kept marking X's. That means that they're doing something off script.
I thought that meant they were hurt. Oh.
No, well, if they do it during the match, yes.
I got you.
If they do it during the match, yes, that someone's hurt and stuff like that. But Lesnar dropping his boot. So these are little things I've learned. Is that Oba Femi has a strong relationship with his daughter with the shot putting.
What is he, like a teacher or something?
Yeah, he like trained. He helped train with shot putting with her because he was a almost an Olympian shot putter. He was an NCAA champion in shot putting, and they have a connection through that because his daughter is shot puts and she's actually going into trying to go into the Olympics, and he's one of her coaches. He's been training her and stuff. So I think that was like a give and like a thank you to him, and that was all. That's how he wanted to retire. And I think Lesnar wanted to do it in his own way, and that's kind of what we got. Match was fantastic. It was a five. It did everything it needed to do. Obus Femi's entrance was ready on fire. I think Night Two just brought the energy, and they were ready for a fucking show. Compared to last, the night before, it felt like a gimmick show. This one felt like a real wrestling show, and we got that in the first match. So yeah, I'll go with that. Next match is the Intercontinental Championship match. We have Penta defeating Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, Rusev, JD Madogan, and in the ladder match.
And Rey Mysterio with the red, was he a red lantern?
He was Deadpool.
Oh, I feel bad.
His belt buckle, if you see it, is the Deadpool symbol.
Oh, I feel bad. That's why people tag Rob Life more.
Yes.
Yeah, I felt bad. Okay. Well, regardless, he seems to have been sipping on the fountain of youth, so he was on fire in this match. I am going to give this one also a five. This match was amazing. It was what you want in a ladder match, and damn it, if Penta didn't come out looking like $1 million because he went in there 1-on-5 and he won.
Yes. I had in our predictions. I had Javon or him. I had him retaining or Javon winning. It was between them two, and I think the whole match I thought it was gonna be them two, and I think they showed that in the storyline they showed too. Um, and Rusev just brought power into it, and he brought a different dynamic that actually I really enjoyed because he was just manhandling half the guys too. So I enjoyed the match for what it was. I think I think it was a fantastic match. My only gripe was the not everyone got an entrance, and I was a little sad about that. So, because it was on ESPN too for the first hour for free, so they cut half the entrance in it. So I'll take one little point away from it because I wanted to see the big ass wings on Dragon Lee. I saw it on pictures. I didn't see it in entrance, and that disappointed me. But the match itself was fantastic. I'm at 4.75 to it. U.S. Championship match: Trick Williams with the long ass CVS receipt coat versus Sami Zayn for the U.S. title.
Uh, Great. I thought it was a really good match. I thought the environment was perfect for just how people were feeling for, again, Sammy feeling betrayed, but also I liked that when he came out, he dapped up his few fans. He wasn't mad. He went out there, did his thing, but the Ginger Man went down. Uh, and again, this one could have also been kind of hokey with the celebrity stuff in it, but the spots were right. The dude he got ragdolled. You know what I'm saying? Like it was things worked out in the right way. And of course, Trick with his impossibly long coat. I love it.
His
I
CVS
love it.
receipt.
He is. Oh, I didn't know what that meant. He is a living cartoon character, is what Trick Williams is.
Yeah.
He really is. Blame it on the boogie from the Powerpuff
Yes,
Girls. That is
he
Trick
is.
Williams. The match I'm
Oh
gonna give
yes,
it
he is.
4.25. 4.25.
I go 4.25. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the matchup of it. I just I'm tired of the celebrities getting involved with stuff. So that's the one thing that I have a little gripe with. And then, like I think Trick Williams could easily did this by himself. I enjoyed the match though. So I'll agree with a 4.25. And again, that was a long ass jacket. I
But
wonder
I would
how much that
say
weighed.
but I would say out of all the celebrities here, this is probably the one that Trick probably had them do it for him.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he probably is real friends with Lil Yachty.
I know he's a big fan. I know he's in a lot of the wrestling shows and stuff like that. They usually show him and he's usually attending and stuff too. So I know he is a big fan. So I don't know the connection between them two though. But yeah, if you ever go to CVS and you have a membership and you get a
Hmm.
receipt, it usually just print you out a long ass receipt. That's
Uh,
what the code That's what the code looks like because they'll give you all the coupons on one receipt and you will have like $5 off this, $2 off this, $2, and they would just print out a long ass receipt. That's why I call it a CVS receipt.
well,
It looked like toilet paper too.
oh, that's fine. Don't don't use it though. Don't do that.
uh, yeah, I'll stick with 4.25. New U.S. champ in Trick Williams. The Demon Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio in a street fight. Logan. You know what?
Uh,
They should have had Street Fighter promote this match.
yeah, no.
They should have. Missed opportunity.
Um, well, they should have had Cody come out looking like a beat up guy. That's
Or
what
the wig, or his Guile wig somewhere in the weapons.
or Dan is under the ring or something.
Yeah.
Get that guy some work.
Or
Um,
have a random barrel.
or just a piece of a brick wall. That's
Yeah,
it.
there you
Why is
go.
this here? All right. Uh, Rusev's cars in the ring. I thought it was solid, but here's the thing: was it really a street fight, or was it a hardcore match? Because they gotta stop calling these street fights. Is there some type of uh ownership with the word hardcore that we can't use that anymore?
I just think they kind of get try to gimmick it. That's why. So Las Vegas Street Fight that they'll call it instead of a
No, but
Las
they do
Vegas.
that all the time, and they
Yeah,
do it in NXT, and they do
yeah.
it. Everything WWE now is always a street fight, but I think that's just a general thing in wrestling
Or
now.
Extreme Rules. Is that or Extreme Rules? They won't say hardcore.
But it's always, yeah. But I think that this is wrestling wide. Like, have we moved away from the word hardcore to describe something now?
I guess so.
Because I don't understand. This is not a street. All I'm saying. All I'm saying. We saw this match is gonna get the same treatment, and it's not to say that I need to see. Well, I kind of do. I kind of needed to see the demon fuck this dude up. And Dom just looked like he got in a regular wrestling match. I mean, yeah, that stomp at the end was vicious, but like for these matches where anything goes, weapons are used, chair around neck and kicked off head, and just everybody's clean as a whistle, and it's just like it just bums me out, and I can't give it as high of a score. Like this should have just been a no DQ match or something, like street fight. You guys ain't in the damn street. And
Yeah, I didn't even
and
go into the
and
street.
and, and here's the other thing: is usually they like to throw a little bit of what do you call flair on these matches. Sometimes,
Yeah.
I listen now. I feel bad because when usually you get the Thanksgiving one or you get the Christmas one, you get the candy canes and the turkey stuff. It was Vegas, no poker chips, no oversized chips, no slot machine. It's like
Could have had a wooden card. They could bash in someone's head.
could have had yeah, giant playing cards with their faces on it, the Judgment Day logo on the back. I know I sound like I'm being picky on it, but it's just like we've seen so many of these, and I'm getting tired of them being called this and they're not that. So this one, I'm giving a 3.75. It was a regular wrestling match.
I'll go four for the entrances. I thought Dom and Balor's entrance was pretty
Dom
dope.
had a great. I thought Dom had an amazing entrance.
And
I
then
do like
shout outs to the AAA guys being under the Mysterio mask.
the King of the Luchadors and with the Mega Championship. Yeah, it fits.
Yeah, I'm in the same agreement as the fact that you give these gimmicks and matches. This could have been just a no DQ, and that's the reason why it took place in the ring. It did not go into the streets whatsoever. A street fight should go into the streets. It should go backstage. It should go everywhere. And the street fight, I think the rule difference is that you could pin anywhere and not just in the ring. So you could at least took it outside and had him get pinned like backstage or in front of the freaking the event and things like that, and had the crowds involved and whatnot. But yeah, I'm in the same thing with the unsanctioned match because it wasn't as unsanctioned as you think it was. Like it wasn't as hardcore as it was, and I wish it was more. And the fact that you give these rule sets, I expect something off of it. I'm happy Balor was cool. I'm glad he got the win, but yeah, I can see the disappointment fit. But I'll stick with the four just because the entrances were actually pretty dope. Women's WWE Women's Championship. We have Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill.
This was a good power match, power woman match. I would have liked to see him. I don't want to say go a little further, but the I don't. Okay, there's a thing that's becoming more popular to do now with the and some people do it well and some people don't do it well and Jay doesn't do it well and I don't and it doesn't behoove Rhea to do it, but she has a move set where she uses it and it's when they're exhausted
Yeah,
and quote unquote exhausted, and it's like they have to stand around arms down kind of drooping, and it's like you don't have to do that because in a real fight you're not going to do that.
yeah,
And we got a master class in selling exhaustion at the end of the show, is what I will say.
yeah.
Two dudes who looked exhausted but were still trying to give it their all. It looked like, bro, one of these guys is just going to collapse. And one of them did. In this match, it happens towards the end of it. But here's where my gripe comes in. I think the second half of the match was the best part of the match because that's where some of the intensity kicked in. But then at the point the intensity kicks in into high gear at the point where they have to stand around and I guess you would call it sell that they're exhausted, but it's like, damn, you running on every cylinder right now because y'all hitting one winged angels, y'all throwing massive forearms,
Yeah.
drop and Rhea's countering the Jaded, and like everything is looking super slick right now. But I thought y'all was tired. It is just that bums me out. So I'll take points off for that. But other than that, I thought it was a great match. I go 4-2-5.
I'll go 4-5. I
And
think
I will say, the counter to the Jaded that Rhea did was one of the coolest things she's ever done.
yeah, that was pretty dope, and I think she gave Jade her best match.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I think I'm mad that Jordan didn't.
Yeah,
I'm mad that they didn't go the distance with those two because I think they were made to fight each other. But I mean, hopefully they fight again.
but yeah. I'll go 4-5 with this, just because I really enjoyed the intensity they gave each other. And then the Fab, B Fab, and all that stuff return. You got your Sky helping her win, and then that reversal was pretty dope into the Riptide. The one winning Angel, I was like, oh shit, she did it. And yes, Kenny Omega was okay with it. He loved it.
I mean, well, he was in the same company with Jay. He
He
couldn't
helped
just
train her.
could have just said.
Yeah, yeah. He helped train her. It was him and Brian that was like helping her in the ring stuff in the Nightmare Factory as well. Good match. Rio as champ. I'm happy because there's a lot of people that I would like to see her fight in SmackDown. And one person that she pointed out that she really wants to work with is Julia. So I really want to see that match. Anyway,
I mean, he did get her face stomped off, so be careful what you wish for.
hey, that was a fucking good match though. Sometimes things have to be sacrificed for a good match. Look at Cody Rhodes in his eye. It wasn't a good match, but he had to sacrifice his eye for it. Oh damn, that was a bad bruise. Anyway, and then our main event is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm at a 5 with this match.
Yeah, that was a S.
Yeah,
That that was a put everything except Brock over to shame. That's how I felt.
yeah, it's S rank. Yes,
And
I
the ladder
agree with
match
that
doesn't count
100%.
because it's a ladder match. I think, like I said, they did everything that you would do at that level.
And
Whenever,
yeah,
and this is one of the other things I don't like when people talk about Roman and they forget that he gives you a once in a lifetime match.
yeah.
It's like every year, regardless of how bad something could be. Oh, night one was this. Last year it was, oh yeah, this wasn't that great, or the crowd wasn't that great, or oh, we don't want to be in Vegas, or blah blah blah. That triple threat was still my favorite match last year, and this match this year is my favorite match. I mean, I still put Rock and Over out there because that's for me.
Yeah.
I need that. I need that. But like, and here's one of the other things, and I saw it and I heard it as a criticism because I listened to Busted Open about and they talked about it, and Bully brought out the part where he hit Punk in the head with the stairs in front of the ref, and he was like, the ref didn't do anything. He just kind of yelled at him and went back, and it was like, come on, what are we doing with the refs
You
now?
know
Have
one
no
thing?
power. But here's what I
Yeah.
have to say about that. If you watch the match, when he hits him in the head, the highlight doesn't show it. But in the match, you know what Roman does?
What?
He walks up to the camera, and I think he says, I can do what I want. And then he just goes back to wrestling.
And then also
So,
the
in
commentator says
character,
something about it too.
no, but they're making excuses. They have to
Yeah.
do it. I'm talking about, but in character, in universe, that's part of Roman's character.
Yeah.
And people might not like it, but he's earned it where his character can blatantly cheat in the match, and it just keeps going. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. I think the
And then, yeah,
commentators explained it pretty easily too. They was like the referee doesn't want to stop it because he'll get ransacked after the match.
no, I understand that.
Yeah.
Their explanation is to the people watching at home, but I'm just saying for the people paying attention to what's being emoted at you by the wrestler,
Yeah.
is that he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
and get away with it, and it's true. And then Punk with the low blow with the tape, that was
yeah,
awesome. Like
that was
just,
fun.
and again, they had so many moments where they did either one up each other and have like a little mini stare down, sit down, little face off. Like it's so many actual pieces and moments where they do things.
It reminded me of Brett
It's just
and
like,
Austin.
yeah, I can see that.
It reminded me
I
a
can see
lot
that.
of Brett and Austin. That's why I love the match so much.
I can see that. And again, what I said last year about that triple threat, I was like, if anybody wanted to say that was their favorite WrestleMania match, I can see that. This is the same thing.
I agree with this.
It's the same thing. If you want to say this is your favorite WrestleMania match ever, I I would have no ifs ands or buts about it because I watched it and I was like, God damn, what the hell? I just this it was a little mini series at the end of the show.
Yeah,
This was like I put this as a moment that's like, oh shit, what did I just watch? On the level of remember when Cody and Gunther had a match at the end of the Royal Rumble,
yeah,
and people forget that.
yeah,
And it's like they had a whole ass match at the end of the Rumble, and that shit was amazing. So yeah, five is a S.
yeah. It's S rank. It's definitely S rank. Probably gonna be a match that's talked about through time itself because I think the selling and everything they did in this match was great. The mocking of each other, the story they did tell each other, and how much bitter hatred they had for each other. And then even on the fucking on Raw the next night, him explaining to Cody Rhodes like, you fought a mentor, you fought your best friend. I fought someone I hate. I love stepping on his fucking head. I love
Mm.
that shit. And they brought it. The entrances were dope. The aesthetics were dope. Everything that has to do with this match was good. There's no shenanigans outside the ring, anything like that. The only shenanigans that happens was between them two, and that's exactly what happened. And it was a full-on wrestling match, and it deserved every credit that it's gonna get. Definitely, probably top contender of match of the year,
Yeah,
and the chemistry was bar none for two people that fucking hate each other in that sense. They have amazing chemistry. So, um,
this match and Ova and Brock are neck and neck right now for match
yeah,
of the year for me.
yeah. So, yeah, the WrestleMania. So night one, what do you give it overall?
I gave it a C plus, so that's what 3.5,
Yeah, I'm at a C.
three seven
So,
five,
yeah,
3.75. I go 3.75 C plus.
I'm at a C. Regular C. And then night two, I'll go A.
I go A minus
Yeah,
because I didn't give everything a five,
yeah.
so A minus.
That's it. WrestleMania was pretty interesting show. It was like a tale of two shows because one
But
felt
you
different than the other.
but you see how much energy that one
Yeah,
thing set of circumstances derail off the feeling of the show.
yeah,
Because again, you look at it from a person who wasn't there and didn't have to watch the ads.
yeah,
It's still I can't say WrestleMania Night One of this year was like, oh, it was the worst WrestleMania. It was just to me, it had a unfortunate main event. But if you had to have the viewing experience of watching the ads cut out people's entrances and make the matches shorter
yeah,
as a result, I could see you just being like, I don't want to watch this shit ever again.
yeah,
But if you were there, I don't know. That's the thing.
yeah. Because you probably spent like
I don't know
a
the
couple
feeling because
grand
because
just
no
being
because
there.
here's the no because here's the thing about that perspective. At least as a viewer, they didn't seem bummed out.
Yeah,
Because there was points I think last year when the crowd seemed kind of bummed about
yeah,
some of the stuff that was going on. At least this one, they didn't seem bummed out until like the main event of night one. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So, um, last but not least, podcasts you listen to. There's a lot of them out there, so I don't have a particular, but there were so many interviews, so many things that happened this weekend. So I'll say check out everyone from Chris Van Vliet to Busted Open to the Cody Rhodes podcast, and Stephanie had Triple H on, and Cody Rhodes conveniently had Triple H on as well. So there's a lot of good interviews there. So definitely check those out because there's a shit ton of them because this weekend was all about wrestling and there was a lot of people in Vegas doing their stuff. So check those out. And shout outs to Dan Housing. We forgot to mention that with
Oh, him
Cena
and John Cena. That was
and
awesome.
the
Yeah, that
midget
was great.
punching and Miz getting punched in the balls.
That's it.
That was great. It's great, and Dan Housing, been killing it to this day. Um, I guess we wrap this up. This is the Wrestling Battle podcast. Thank you for listening. Follow us on all social medias. We have Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitch, and TikTok. Or Mark the Mic. Follow Recyclo Inc.
Yes, sir. Follow us anywhere and everywhere. Recycle Nick. Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and we got a WordPress.
Yep. Peace out, laters, and always remember, follow the Jinkies.
He's hungry.
And listen, or you are cursed. I want to start paying Dan House and the cursed people.